Hello everybody, it is I, Sir Beardian, and once more I welcome you aboard the C# hype train. First up, let's get some quick changes out of the way. Number 1, atmosphere and energy weapons. There is no more penalty for firing in or through an atmosphere. So those STOs are not going to lose any damage, but neither is bombardment. It also means that Maisons are no longer the only option for bombardment. Next, for C# Aurora, jump gates have been replaced by stabilized jump points. This is purely a technobubble change and there is no change in function. Anything associated with VB6 jump gates will be changed accordingly. For example, jump gate construction modules have been replaced with jump gate stabilization modules, and the build jump gate order is now the stabilize jump point order. Since we mentioned bombardment, in C# populations can be attacked by missile and energy weapons. However, because missile warheads are area effect weapons, they are much more effective at destroying the civilian population and any installations. Each installation type has a target size. The chance of each attack, either a missile or a single energy weapon, destroying an installation is equal to weapon damage divided by target size. For example, a construction factory has a target size of 20, so a 10 cm laser fired from orbit would have a 15% chance to destroy the target, 3/20. For the purposes of this check, missile warheads are treated as equal to 20 times the warhead strength. A single 1-point warhead has a 100% chance to destroy a construction factory. A single energy weapon can destroy only one target per hit. A missile warhead is applied until all damage is used. For example, a 5-point missile warhead is counted as 100 damage. If the first installation hit is a construction factory, that factory is destroyed and the remaining damage is reduced to 80. That damage is then applied to the next installation hit, and so on. Missile warheads cause radiation and dust levels to increase by an amount equal to their warhead size. Energy weapons increase the dust level by 5% of their damage output. Missile warheads inflict civilian casualties at the rate of 100,000 per point of damage. Energy weapons inflict civilian casualties at the rate of 2,000 per point of damage. Populations will no longer surrender purely due to orbital bombardment. You have to land ground formations to force a surrender. And finally, energy weapons now provide a way to destroy the industry and infrastructure of a target population without causing radiation or using up ordnance. However, this will require considerable effort for a large population and consume maintenance supplies due to weapon failures. It will also bring you within range of any ground-based energy weapons, but of course, it is usually more beneficial to conquer the planet and gain the installations instead of destroying them. Next up, we have a pretty significant, if not huge, change. Ground-based geological survey teams are getting an overhaul. Partially because they no longer exist. Instead, a new ground unit component of 100 tons provides 0.1 survey points per day. Ground units with this component may be added to ground formations to provide the geological survey capability. All formations at the same population with a geological survey capability will combine their survey points to conduct a ground-based survey. This can only take place after the orbital survey is complete. So it's done through ground troops that you have to transport. No more randomly teleporting around geo-survey offices into geo-survey teams onto planets to just sit there and do nothing. It's also going to cost wealth because you have to pay wealth maintenance for ground troops. Once the orbital survey of a system body is completed, the potential for a further ground survey will be revealed. None, minimal, low, good, high, and excellent. The ground survey requires the same survey points as the orbital survey, except they're generated by ground forces. So large planets are going to take a while, because they often have hundreds of points. Only system bodies with a diameter of at least 4,000 kilometers will be eligible for a ground-based survey, so that means no more of the ground surveying asteroids all day long. So in Sol, that means Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Ganymede, Callisto, and Titan. So not even some of the moons, not even most of the moons are eligible either. So definitely no ground surveying comets and asteroids. Normal mineral generation at system body creation has 3 phases. First, an overall roll for the potential for minerals to be present based on radius, density, and system abundance. If this roll fails, the body has no minerals. Second, a roll for each type of mineral to be present based on density and abundance. The uranium has twice the chance of any other mineral. And third, a roll for the accessibility of each mineral generated in step 2. This is based on radius. So we have a potential for minerals in the first place. So a planet either has minerals or it doesn't. I'm actually not sure if I like this one, to be honest. I mean, fair enough, but I personally would actually much rather enjoy seeing most planets have like one or two minerals, and then only some planets having like many minerals, right? I think it might be maybe an interesting, maybe an option or a toggle in system generation, so that you can have either all or nothing, or potentially just leaving the first check out, and just having most planets have some minerals, but only like one or two. I don't know. I think that having most, especially if the generation chance is the same as VB6, because in VB6 so many planets had nothing, right? So many bodies had nothing. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of number one. Big fan of number 2 and 3 though. So, once the ground survey is completed, assuming potential is minimal or higher, a new mineral generation roll will take place. For this roll, step 1 is the same regardless of the potential. I'm not sure if this rechecks the all or nothing. I think in, like, even if you accept, okay, fine, in normal generation you want to have this roll of all or nothing, but like, come on, we're already getting hit by the potential. And then on top of that, we have an all of nothing? That's a little bit mean, Steve. That's a little bit mean. I mean, we're investing now actual resources and time and effort into doing ground surveys. Give us a little bit of at least some kind of guaranteed potential reward. Step 2 is modified by the potential. Minimal is 25% of normal. Low is 33% of normal, which is the same as teams in VB6. Good is 50% of normal. High is 100% normal. And excellent is 200% of normal. Now, this is where I actually like, because if low is 33% of normal, and that's the same as teams in VB6, then normal means that we're potentially, planets are going to get 3 times the mineral outputs in C# that we would in, or would we? Because teams only have a 25% chance versus 33% chance. I don't know. It'd be interesting. Because I know that in Steve's test campaigns, he often has issues with minerals, so I don't know. Anyway, step 3 is modified by high to add 0.1 and excellent to add 0.2. All others are same as normal. So we get accessibility rolls and then a boost on high and excellent. So high and excellent are going to basically guarantee a much better result on accessibility. So let's move along. If a deposit of a mineral that didn't previously exist is generated by the ground survey, that deposit is added to the system body. It's the same as VB6. If a mineral deposit is generated by the ground survey and a deposit of the mineral already exists in the system body, the existing deposit is changed to match the amount of or accessibility or both, if the latter is greater. So same as VB6. The chances that an eligible body of 4,000 kilometers of diameter will have ground survey potentials is equal to 60% for none, 20% for minimal, 10% for low, 6% for good, 3% of high, and 1% for excellent. For reference, in the Colonial Wars campaign, there are 2,145 eligible bodies in 495 systems, so in general, about 1.7 worlds per system will have potential of at least minimal. About one system in 23 will have an excellent potential world. Here is an example ground survey unit. So that's just a geosurvey vehicle. So all in all, personally, my opinion is that without seeing hard outcomes and knowing that this is old information and these numbers could very well have been changed since, so just based on this one post, I think that ground surveys may potentially be almost non-existent, to be honest. Like, I honestly do not see any real worth in surveying anything better than maybe a high. High and excellent. That's about it. That's probably the only thing I would even really consider surveying. Because, like, most of the planets you find are going to have none, right? No potential. So, I mean, first of all, let's talk about the fact that only a very limited number of planets in the first place are going to be eligible, right? In 495 systems, he only has 2,000 eligible planets, right? 1.7 worlds per system will have the potential of minimal. So, okay, that's like one extra per system. That's only 500, right? That's not a lot. And minimal only gives you a 25% chance of normal, which is lower than the VB6 teams, right? It's lower than the VB6 teams to actually get anything. And then on top of that, you still have to roll whether it even rolls in the first place, right? So you're rolling a go, no go. Most of the planets are going to be lower than VB6, which is already terrible as it is. Like, how often do you ground survey a planet in VB6 and you get nothing, right? All the fucking time. All the time. And then only high and excellent actually modify accessibility, right? Only high and excellent. And that's, so for 4% of all planets are actually going to get this bonus. Of all eligible planets, no less, are going to get this bonus. So, like, considering you now have to pay wealth to get geosurvey vehicles, like, is it going to actually be worth geosurveying in the first place? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm sure he's gotten results, and I'm sure we will get results. But then, of course, there's the other issue that, you know, so on top of the extremely low chance that you get anything in the first place, you still have to roll above what's on the body. So it's still most optimal to do a ground survey after you have already strip mined the world. So, yeah. I'd love to see if he actually surveyed the 2,145 bodies and how much of them actually got more minerals. I would love to see that. Okay, enough about that. Let's move along to our probably last point for this episode. Starting NPR locations. There is a new option on the new game window that allows you to specify the minimum and maximum distance in light years of starting NPRs in known stars games. The NPR starting location will be selected from the list of known star systems within that distance range from Sol. This gives you some control over how fast you will run into the starting NPRs. Once a known system is selected, the system bodies for that system will be generated and checked for a suitable planet or moon to establish the NPR. This potential body needs to be in the acceptable range for gravity, temperature, and hydro extent. The atmosphere will be changed to something suitable. If nothing is found, the system is generated again and again until a suitable location appears, which shouldn't take long because C# is lightning fast. A check is also made to see if the NPR location is within a reasonable range of the primary star, either by orbiting within 12 billion kilometers or orbiting within 12 billion kilometers of a star that allows travel by Lagrange points to the primary. So with the LP also within 12 billion of each star. There's also been a check for the planet Moon orbiting a star with no Lagrange points, but that star is within 12 billion of the primary, or orbiting a star with no Lagrange points, but that star is within 12 billion of another star that does have LPs to the primary. That was a confusing sentence. This is to ensure no NPRs created that are unlikely to interact with the player, which is absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic, because there's nothing worse than finding a system, seeing a star like 1 trillion kilometers away that you know you're pretty much never going to get to, and then realizing, oh wait, the NPR is over there. So, yeah. Well, I mean, there's plenty worse than that. But that's it for me for today, as we are out of time. Join me tomorrow when we continue covering the changes for C# Aurora every day this month until launch. Links down below to the official Aurora Discord, Reddit, and the forums where you can join the discussion and the hype. And I will see you next time.